there, I'm Kaiser Neko.
I'm Lanny Pator.
And I'm Takahata 101.
And welcome to the TeamFourStar Podcast.
Episode 2 of Podcast Z! Woo!
Yes, episode 2. So I think Raditz shows up now. No, he shows up in the first one, but now is he gotten Gohan yet? Tell me he has Gohan.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh.
That depends. Are we talking is this Podcast Kai, or is it?
So we released something this month. It was kind of dumb. Actually, it was last month, but I think it was the finale to season 2. That was fun, wasn't it,
Kaiser,
guys?
let me just say, way to phone it in. Wow, dude.
I'm sorry, okay? We've been working on this thing for 4 years. I'm losing it. I can't do this.
You are losing it, dude.
Seriously, Kaiser, how could you devote an entire month editing that? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, seriously, I saw perfect lip flaps, perfect timing in all the jokes, perfect sound effect, perfect sound mixing. Are you even trying anymore?
No, most of the time I was masturbating. What do you want?
I really want some damned effort.
Why were you masturbating? I mean, seriously, Taka clearly has his dick wedged deep down your throat there. I mean,
yeah.
That's a mental image for all of our fangirls right there.
Yeah, there you go. But it would only fit about halfway.
Oh, don't you dare underestimate me. Anyway, so episode 30.
Major
I had
tangent.
margarita in my throat when you said that.
So, episode 30. We got all 3 parts out, which I don't think anybody knows the kind of push that I made to get part 3 out as quickly as I did.
I remember how many issues we had with that one, especially near the end. I mean, you had it uploaded on private so that we had one more private viewing, and then just in the middle of watching it, I'm getting these phone calls. Deep. Damn it, Kaiser, let me watch. Finally, I call you back. Hey, you ready to go public? No!
Yeah. That was an hilarious one. That one I think was due to the copyright issues on the Star Wars song, wasn't it?
Yeah, for anybody who's actually checked out the episode 30 on this site, there is actually an extra scene at the end that is blocked in Europe on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because,
it's not so much that it's blocked in Europe on YouTube, it's the fact that in the episode when we tried to upload it, it ended up getting blocked.
Yep.
Damn it, Lucas! Damn you, Lucas!
So it's on the website version where Blip doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, we aren't trying.
Damn you, Lucas!
Thank you. We aren't trying to be come to our site. We have special stuff there. Although we do. It's more the fact that we just couldn't put it up there.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that everyone in Europe could watch the final part. We couldn't be those guys.
Yeah, but I've seen a pretty good reaction so far. A pretty mixed reaction from some people, but that's always to be expected.
Yeah. Although part 1, holy crap! I don't know. It is at 5.6 million views.
I remember that. By the time you were ready to put up part 3, it was at 3 million.
I know, and my mind is blown, effectively and completely. I don't know how that happened. I guess it's the Super Saiyan scene.
Maybe it's the fact that it's the culmination of this entire season, and the fact that since we've been getting as many views as we have, we keep hitting the front page of YouTube, and the little still image of Goku going Super Saiyan. I'm pretty sure that got a lot of random people to click. What's this? Because I think everybody. Yeah, I think everybody has some sort of a connection to Dragon Ball Z. Well, maybe not everybody, but I think
anyone who grew up during the 90s does.
A good majority of people at least knows the image of Goku.
God knows that my children at this point are going to have it. If I were to actually have children through biological means, they would probably be imprinted into their memory.
Yeah, the image of Goku going Super Saiyan, actually they can probably remember each and every lip flap at this point, is probably etched into the minds of each and every one of your semen.
Yep. Goku's face is on my semen. I just imagine a little sperm just swimming around with Goku's face, smiling, so wide.
Yay.
They swim up to the egg. Muffin button.
Yeah,
episode 30. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, the reaction has been nice. It's been good to see people, because like one of my favorite parts of this was just getting to play around with so much, because I finally found a way to really streamline pasting characters into scenes, and that made this so much easier, because a lot of people may not know, all of those shots with Guru on Earth are from earlier parts in the series that I had to paste there.
Yep, you took out each and every background of those shots, because whenever Guru talks, he's always leaning or moving, or it's almost always a profile shot too. So like his jowls are moving and his.
And I went out of my way to kind of like take several like frames to make him move, because I tried to do those shots with him just in like the same place, and it wasn't nearly as effective. I needed some motion from him to really get the effectiveness out of it. So,
you want motion from me? Come back another time.
Which is funny. You wouldn't think Guru would be the animated type, but yeah,
he moves around enough.
I remember sitting there with you as you were realizing that you had to make him cough, and there was no shot of him coughing on Earth, and you were like, oh no. I have to take the backgrounds out of, how many shots was it? 6, 8? 7 frames.
8, but yeah. So yeah, that part. And not to mention, by the way, while we're on the subject of the third part, the animation of Nappa was done by our animator Zach Manley.
Zach Manley.
I'd like to just say that, Mr. Zach Manley, we here at Team 4-Star appreciate your services to the Empire.
Seriously, though, I love the reactions to people. I love how many people think that's in the actual show.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, where did you get that shot of Nappa? Is that from GT? And I'm like, no.
When did Nappa put on a suit?
When did Nappa have sunglasses? Like, yeah, no, that entire thing, those shots were made by our animator, Zach Manley. He is a fantastic little animator. He's actually an artist. He was an artist first. One of the first animated things he did was Team 4-Star Force. The man is amazing, and I can only say the nicest things about him, and for all the effort he put in. He also did that.
Yeah, the smiling Goku for the muffin button scene.
Yeah, like I ended up, because the original shot, I was almost going to use the shot of Goku there, where he just has his mouth open, but he looks so serious. And I'm like, you know what? No.
He needs to be happy.
Yeah, him being happy, like, it really made that scene.
It sells the yay.
It totally does. By the way, that muffin button scene, I panicked at first, because it was originally going to be this much more analog, push a button, muffin pops out. But we didn't have a good shot for that, and then I noticed that little, like, thing right in front of the button. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to make that a platform, and I'm going to make it like... So I just pulled some special effects magic, and yeah. It would only make sense that Frieza has a high-tech muffin button, like you said, Lanny.
Yeah, and I actually really like the fact that some of the fans are saying how it makes sense how Frieza's ship has a muffin button.
That was amazing. I'm going to be honest, we never thought of this. Some fans came up with this theory of why he would have a muffin button that is amazing.
You can tell it, Kaiser.
Okay, so essentially, the ship that Goku took to Namek was actually, was it Raditz's? No, it wasn't Raditz's. It was his own old ship. It was it was Goku's original ship for when he hit Earth. Now, if you think about it, that ship was retro designed. It was basically from the ground up made from that ship. And for no reason, it had a muffin button in it. Dr. Briefs himself says that he never had installed a muffin button. And so, one can only assume that as he basically took the original design of Goku's ship and made it into something bigger, somewhere along the line, somewhere in its core design, there is a muffin button there.
Yeah, because the actual space pod itself isn't Saiyan technology. It's whatever Frieza's empire has.
Precisely. And to further explain it, the reason they have the muffin button at all is that for long travel, there's food.
And they make space muffins.
So our fans
carbohydrates with fruit, protein, everything you need.
The muffin is the perfect food, it's true.
Well, I mean, it's like, I don't want to compare it to Star Wars, but it's once you create like an idea of something, you're kind of creating a sandbox, and then people create what they want out of that sandbox,
Yeah. Which I gotta admit that is an amazing idea. There's another person who came up with, okay, so for the sound of Vegeta's scream to have traveled to Earth, it would have to be in this star system. Like, somebody actually sat down and plotted that out, and he said, yeah, it's even got a binary star system. I'm like, oh my god.
Now, how long does it take sound to move through space? Like, what is the distance that 20 years it would hit Earth?
It doesn't matter. That's just amazing.
No.
Like, I was very impressed. Our fans get crazy awesome sometimes. But yeah, so episode 30's got a lot of stuff in it that ties up a lot of our jokes from the rest of the season too. I am so happy that we got to cap off a lot of those running and break jokes. Mm-hmm. For a little inside info here, the muffin button scene wasn't originally in Frieza's ship.
Actually, in my mind it was, but you guys came up with something different.
Well, originally, I remember this because I was disappointed, but I accepted the new joke. The original joke was Bulma's trying to get the other ship to work after Gohan returns to the ship with her. She's just pressing a bunch of buttons. All of a sudden, she hits one, and muffins just start pouring out. They're all like, no!
And muffins start flooding outside of the ship. And that was going to be the original joke. Unfortunately, due to footage limitations, that didn't turn out.
But you see, to me, like, this was the joke I always had in mind. This is the one that I always thought we were talking about when we were talking about the muffin button joke at the very end with the ship.
And this one, it was probably the better joke. Honestly, like this caps off that joke in a perfect way. I'm not gonna say too much. I will say it does come back a little bit in the future, but I'm not gonna say how or why.
You'll have to find that out next season on Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Ahem.
So, anything else you guys want to say about 30? Anything that from our season finale that you just have to talk about?
The Dende love confession. I
wanted to say something about that too, but you go first.
I had to practice that for 2 weeks so I didn't giggle halfway through recording. I still did.
I remember like a lot when you were doing it, you were making all these moe noises that I ended up like cutting. I'm like, okay.
Those are some weeaboo words.
Yeah.
Sounds awkward.
Yeah,
the fuck did you leave him in, Kaiser?
I will say, my favorite thing about that scene was, okay, I was thinking to myself, okay, I'm just gonna have to find some kind of romantic tune, and then I remembered that the freaking since Aya Hirano played Dende, that's Konata from Lucky Star and Haruhi Suzumiya, they gave her a song on one of the soundtracks, like literally a song about Dende. And it's this really nice little tune, very soft, very emotional. And then I found an instrumental version of it. So I was like, yes, any fan of the show, like any hardcore fan of the show is going to know that not only is this a fitting tune, but it's Dende's song.
You are such a goddamn nerd.
I know!
Good God in heaven, he is.
And come on, who else should be behind this project? If not like one of the biggest Dragon Ball nerds ever.
Jesus Christ, how horrifying.
Jesus Christ, how horrifying.
But yeah, so.
Son of a bitch! Adoo.
I don't know. One of my favorite parts was honestly the argument between Yamcha and Bulma, because both of them have legit points.
That scene, I've heard some people say, wow, that scene was uncomfortable. I find that kind of hilarious. We made it a very uncomfortable conversation between two characters.
I mean, if you really think about it, Bulma has been sitting alone on Namek for probably the better part of a week and a half. And Yamcha has just been floating around up on King Kai's planet doing basically jack all.
And he never called.
Never called, never even asked.
Nope.
Despite the fact that he knew that King Kai had, telepathic communication.
I'd have done it, too. I'm a trooper. I would have stuck with it. I'd have done it.
But
it's funny because you can get behind either one of them in that argument. It's like, you bitch, I've been dead.
I do think, and inadvertently we made Bulma kind of the bitch there. We don't want to play Bulma off. Bulma's not a a mean or antagonistic person, and as much as we play her,
she's kind of a bitch though in the show. If you think about it,
she's a little bit of a bitch in the show.
She's always been incredibly selfish.
From time to time, she can be very selfish. Although I will say,
time to time.
Okay, yeah, but after this, I do have to say, after the whole Namekian arc, she kind of chills out a bit.
Because she has a baby.
Well, yeah, because she has a f***ing baby.
Oh, I see. So what you're saying is women have to have babies so they can chill the f*** out? Okay.
No,
Yes!
Bulma needed to have a baby to chill the f*** out.
I was saying that.
I didn't generalize, Kaiser, you sexist bastard.
I'm a sexist bastard.
I'm gay, so I can't be sexist, obviously.
I need such a lie.
Dude, that is the most gay. You discriminate hardcore.
You won't even have sex with the women.
So, Taka, did you have anything else you want to say?
Oh, no, I mean, well, I enjoyed the whole thing, beginning to end. I just want to, take my hat off to Masako and LK.
Yeah, man.
For literally making those characters theirs. I'll be honest here. Even Kai Frieza, which is amazingly acted, even the old Frieza had a simple, nostalgic quality. I love Martin's performance the most out of all of them, and I will flat out say that. Except, he comes in second to the Japanese actor. But I just enjoyed Martin's Frieza so much, and Masako's Goku is always fun.
Yeah. As the director who got to work with the both of them, I take my hat off to them both. They put in more time and effort than I can even begin to tell you, because especially Masako for these screams.
Masako loves playing Goku.
Oh no, he lives
Goku. For
this
this damn stuff.
Yeah, and if you could have seen the effort, the time, and the sheer energy he put into all of those screams for the Super Saiyan, because originally we had one scream in there that we were going to go with, but I sat down with him and said, "Hey, I want you to take a look at this and tell me if you're satisfied," and he told me no. So the one we have in there is one that it was like he did 20 more screams to get the right one.
He wanted to make sure that it was perfect. I mean, for God's sakes, his name, Masako, is based off the actress for Japanese Goku, Masako Nozawa.
Yeah.
That's how much he loves Goku.
Yeah, and he puts in 100% every time. So
and you know what? I couldn't pick another guy for Goku. He's just got it down packed. He's got the attitude. He's got that. He's got that chipper, upbeat attitude, even when he's being serious, sort of thing going.
Yeah, and that's why I love Masako as Goku, and I go on about it, but that's because he really did try so hard for this one. So.
And it's sad because, yet again, we won't be seeing him for another couple episodes.
Yeah, we're about to go back into that state of, okay, everyone else is going to do stuff while Goku gets ready.
Lol, It's the Krillin Vegeta show again.
Yep, it is the Krillin Vegeta show. Although now we have a little bit more of everybody else. Luckily, It's not just going to be them anymore.
Although, actually, coming up, I guess it's the Piccolo Krillin Gohan show.
Yeah, because...
there's an arc here. There's an arc
there is
we got to cover
that we're going to have to cover.
Garlic Jr.
Yes. Now we're not going to say what we're going to do with it just yet, but we are working hard on it. It's going to be. We definitely wanted to do something special with this one because everyone remembers it.
Everybody remembers Garlic Jr. It's not the worst filler by far.
It's not the worst. It doesn't make any bloody sense, but we'll get into that.
What's that? Piccolo's getting his shit kicked in by a goblin after he was fighting second form Frieza evenly? Okay.
Yeah, all right. I'll buy that. I'll buy 12.
And before you tell me that it's because
the Makio Star.
No, don't even tell me this because Kami was getting injured. Because you know what? Krillin probably could have taken Garlic Jr. at that point. He is the first movie villain.
Yeah, it is. It is some ridiculous bull.
He is pre-Raditz power level.
Yeah, it is. No.
I wonder if he will summon his giant black hole, which is the only thing that can defeat him again. That would be a foolish.
Maybe.
But yeah, the future. I'm looking forward to the future. We got a few things there.
Season 3!
Garlic Jr., that'll be the start of Season 3. It'll be a little prelude to Season 3. Of course, we got Cooler. That'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. You thought Frieza was cool.
His brother's cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get ready for that about 20 more times during that movie. That we literally have that line in there 20 times, and we haven't even written it yet. But it's in there 20 times.
We also have a small little other thing that we're working on that we're not, it's.
We got a couple other.
Well, yeah,
small
we got a
things
couple little things that we're working
on the docket there. One of which we want to premiere at YomaCon, I believe, because we love premiering some of our stuff there.
One of the next things that we're working on, Taka.
What's that?
I don't know, maybe a little series that you've
been working on, yeah. Something that you wanted to talk
about Valkyria Chronicles Abridged?
Yes, Valkyrie Chronicles Abridged. We're totally...
What the f*** is that? I'm talking about Hellsing Abridged, damn it, man.
Okay.
Ultimate Abridged, more like. But no, I've been screaming my ideas at Kaiser, and Kaiser's been telling me which ones are terrible.
I get the trickle-down ideas. I get the ones that Kaiser thinks are okay, and then I get to tell them whether they're bad or not.
Hellsing is going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely, I'm really excited.
We love Hellsing.
Out of curiosity, are we premiering that again at YomaCon? Because I think that's just an annual thing.
I think we are. I mean, we didn't want to, but things just got away from us.
Just do it. It's an annual thing. I mean, YomaCon always comes around Halloween.
No, I want to do them faster, damn it. I'm needy.
I do feel bad that we have, it has been one episode a year. I mean, that's just slightly better than Little Karibo.
You're still beating Yu Hakusho Abridged.
It's true.
But our show is so much better. There's no excuse.
I don't know what. Fuck you.
I mean, okay, here's the thing. Maybe we'll be able to crank up production a little bit more. I'd be totally for that. But it's always what do we force Kaiser to edit, DBZ or Hellsing? In the end, DBZ is easier because Hellsing is insanely difficult to work with. Have you seen the art and the hair in front of the mouth?
The art's not the problem. The animation is. Friggin'
it's like trying to work with Avatar. I mean, you worked on Gon's.
No, don't even compare that because Avatar is usually okay. I could do that.
Really?
No,
Avatar is easier, huh?
Well, here's the problem. That show usually doesn't have hair moving in front of the lip flaps.
Okay, I can concede to that, but I just figured there were so many mouth shapes.
Another watch through of episode of the third Hellsing OVA, and Kaiser's like, their hair is in front of their mouth.
Yeah,
I'm picturing Kaiser in the closet in that the ring.
yeah, right.
Yeah, I can't imagine Kaiser in the closet. It's
Okay, fine, on the ground in the ring.
I'll imagine Gone in the closet. Oh, that was easy. Shit.
Oh, snap.
Took half a second.
He's not here to defend himself, so you just kick.
I know, right?
But hopefully some Hellsing. Hopefully some Hellsing. Maybe before YomaCon. But,
hey, screw it. Honestly, I think people would rather have it before YomaCon than at YomaCon. You know what I mean?
We'll see how that turns out.
We'll see how everything else pans out. We'll see how everything else pans out first.
I have a hilarious joke.
We got a lot of stuff on our plate here.
Oh, well, you better have a hilarious joke. Otherwise, what are we doing?
I figured out a way to solve all of our scripting problems. I literally figured it out. It was so easy.
References.
Oh, no. Well, we're going to make Alucard super
Family Guy.
gay for everyone. Even the girls.
Okay.
Oh my god, hotness, I want to bang you. Oh my god, hotness, I want to bang you.
It's an original catchphrase I came up with. I think it'll work.
Isn't that a quote from a...
Nope, anyway, so...
Okay.
Topic 3. So, hey, guess what Namco Bandai is coming out with? Is it Namco Bandai? I don't know who
DBZ Connect, right? DBZ Connect, right? I played that at E3.
Were there any shits to give? Any at all?
Not really. I mean, it was kind of responsive for a beta build, I guess. It lets you do the hand motions, although almost everything involved the Kamehameha pose.
Friggin' hell. But yeah, no, I think it's Namco Bandai that's putting this out.
They make all the other games, so...
Yeah. It's the Budokai HD Collection, which is kind of a shitty collection because it's missing 2.
No, it's missing 1.
No, it's missing...
Yeah, it's packaged with Budokai 1 and 3, right? So
yeah.
I was saying that it's missing 1, and that 1 was 2.
Yes, I got it.
Yeah.
But
okay.
yeah, so...
I guess they just really hated Tiensha, because that's the only game he showed up in. I'm pretty sure that's the same thing with Goku.
Man, that sucks. Like, I love those what-if scenarios. We need more of those in these games.
That's a whole
good.
damn game of what if scenarios.
There is. I believe Infinite Worlds was a gigantic what if scenario, but that was a PSP game.
No, Infinite World was a PlayStation 2 game.
No, it eventually got ported to the PlayStation 2.
No. I think you're thinking of Shin Budokai.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, because I don't know. Like, I remember when Budokai 2 came out. Like, I played all the little Budokai games when I was younger. I played 1, 2, and 3. I bought them like the second or third day they came out, like the week they came out. That's actually how I trained my voices, because I always used to play as Piccolo and Vegeta.
That is adorable. That's so cute. You're just sitting there like Big Bang Attack and
That's so kawaii.
I would literally be sitting there like talking the computer, just like, yeah, suck it, Kakarot, eat that, you son of a bitch, that sort of thing. And that's how I actually learned how to mimic the Vegeta voice. Yeah, good times there. But that is weird that they decided to take out 2. It couldn't have been that complex. They all have the same fighting system and things like that. And the only thing like that 2 had that the others didn't were, like I said, Goku and Tiensha. And that's because this was like, I believe 2 came out right when they were beginning to air all the Fusion arc things. So Fusion was the big thing, and it's like, okay, let's fuse as many characters as we can to each other.
which is fun. I like that. I like that idea.
I like the idea of like having Boo absorb people, and like random people would turn him into different things. Like he'd be wearing Vegeta's shirt or something.
Oh yeah, that was some fun stuff.
Yeah,
I think that is in 3. That's in 3.
Yeah, Boo still absorbed a bunch of people in 3. Like he could still become Tiensha Boo and somehow get a lot weaker.
I find that hilarious.
That's not shocking. Yamcha is involved.
Yamcha is involved in that, but so is Tien. You think there'd be a little bit of a balance out. I mean, you think he would be almost as strong as he was, just, you know, a little more.
It's because they're humans. It's because they're humans.
Racist, Toriyama. Racist.
Towards himself. But, yeah, I loved Budokai 3. I'm not gonna lie. Budokai 3 is one of my favorite Dragon Ball games ever.
I hope it holds up, because I remember playing that a lot. I like the combo system and things like that. I really hope it holds up, because
It probably won't hold up 100%, but I think...
To kind of go onto a bit of a tangent, I mean, fighting games hold up a little bit better than other games, granted, but I got the Devil May Cry HD pack, and going back and playing Devil May Cry 1, oh man.
Yeah, that was like... You know, it's so weird how that happens. I mean, it's probably still for when it came out, fantastic game.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. I mean, here's the thing: I love Devil May Cry. I played the hell out of 1, played a little bit of 2. I played the hell out of 3. Like I was beating that on Dante Must Die mode. That was how much I played that, or whatever the hardest difficulty was. I remember the first Devil May Cry Dante Must Die mode was the hardest one. I think in 3 it was like, I can't remember. It was either Dante Must Die or Hell or something like that.
I never actually played any of those games.
What?
Devil May Cry.
They were a lot of fun. It was a lot of like rhythm and stuff to it, but it got a lot of fun, especially when you could start getting like constant S rank combos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you know, going back to Dragon Ball Z, if I had to think of my favorite Dragon Ball Z game, I always think some of the portable games, honestly. Like, and not even the fighting ones. Like, I liked Attack of the Saiyans, the DS RPG. Sold very poorly, but
I think it's sold well in Japan.
In Japan, was good, though. I'm talking US, man.
Yeah, I loved that game. That is how you do a Dragon Ball RPG.
It was fun. I mean, it had good animation. The Japanese voice acting was in it. And I couldn't argue with any of it. Like, they had a lot of hidden Easter egg stuff. Like, I believe you could fight Broly.
Yeah, you could fight Broly, and he would...
I'm just curious, if that came out on another system, that would be DLC.
I feel kind of bad because I beat Broly with Yamcha. I'm sorry. I did it.
Vicious game.
I know, right? It was such a what-if scenario. But I think my actual favorite was actually the Legacy of Goku series.
Which is funny because those were American made. Like, those were made for America.
You know why I like them though? They reminded me a lot of the sort of action RPGs of the SNES era, you know, like Secrets of Mana, that sort of thing. We're just running around like, hit this guy, hit this guy, hit this guy.
It's a little bit Zelda-esque, too.
Kinda, and then you get all the Dragon Ball Z powers, just scroll through them. Okay, I'm gonna nuke this guy with a giant energy beam.
Hell yeah. Dude, when you hit an opponent with that big attack and you take out a huge chunk of their life, you were like, oh, yeah.
I remember actually, like, this is like, I hate grinding in games, but in this game I actually grinded Goten and Trunks so that Gotenks would be that much stronger.
Nice.
That was a lot of fun. It's like, okay, now let's try Gotenks. I'm one-hitting everything.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, no, those were fantastic. Although, oh man, I grew up in that time where the idea of the PlayStation games were but rumors and you know, you had to
import them.
You had to import all of them, and it was so frustratingly hard to get a hold of. Like, it was Ultimate Battle 22, Dragon Ball Legends, and the one that was released in America with Stephen J. Bloom playing Goku was Final Bout.
I never actually.
I heard that.
I never played any of the PlayStation games, so I wouldn't know any of them. And I bet if I went back to them right now, they'd play like garbage.
Oh no, they do. They do. Ultimate Battle 22 is not aged incredibly well. Legends is only fun as like, okay, play it for about 20 minutes with a bunch of friends. And Final Bout was a piece of garbage when it landed and never got better.
I imagine it's like going and playing the Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament video game. Have either of you played that?
No, it's worse than that.
Is it? How is it worse than the Dark Tournament video game?
You'd have to see it. It's just awful. It is slow and plotting, and it's everything about it is just awful. The hit detection, the movement, it's bad. It is a bad.
Yu Yu Hakusho is terrible.
Freaking Hiei is so broken in that game. Then again, Hiei and Yu Yu Hakusho is pretty damn broken.
Yeah, that was actually pretty accurate.
Hiei's so OP.
I have such a nerd thing here. Back in the day, no one had a cast list for Final Bout. And I remember I had the game. I had all the voices from the game as a sound file. And I started listening to them. And I'm like, wait a second, these are a bunch of the old LA actors, you know, back in the 90s. And so I sat down and started comparing them. And I'm the person who came up with the cast list everyone sees online now.
Huh.
Neat.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was the one who finally sat down and it was like, okay, this is Leah Sargent for Pan, this is Tom Weiner for Cell, this is
oh god, what are the Cell actors?
Cell actually sounded good. The only problem was he had awful dialogue. I'm going to send you to heaven immediately. He was
I'm
awful.
going to take you to heaven immediately.
Like the voices weren't that bad. Although the guy playing Vegeta, oh boy.
See you in Hiffle, Mother Hubbard.
Well, my favorite thing about him was like he sounded like this, you know, like this old man. He was obviously this older gentleman playing Vegeta, and it was kind of hilarious. Not to mention Bloom Goku. I don't even know I don't even know where to start with that. But
I don't either.
So and Lex Lang played Gohan. That was interesting.
I don't know who most of those people are.
I like my voice actors. I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd.
Lanny.
Yes,
Lanny.
Taka?
What have you been up to?
Actually, I just got back from my girlfriend's sister's wedding up in Michigan, so that's where I've been for the better part of a week. We also celebrated our anniversary on our way up there. It was nice, and yeah, I mean, that's basically what I've been up to. I can't really think of much else beyond that.
Michigan. Who would go to Michigan?
Well, actually, Kaiser, what have you been up to?
I've been up to?
Yeah.
Bitch, I edited episode 30. I ain't doing shit.
No, you been drinking and sending texts.
I sent a bunch of drunken texts.
I still have that picture.
Ha! No.
I still have those texts. Very descriptive.
Actually, last night I was watching King of Fighters, the live action movie with a bunch of friends. Playing a drinking game, and it
what was the game? Every time it's shitty, take a shot.
Actually, no. It came down to, okay, we didn't know enough about King of Fighters to make a bunch of King of Fighters related rules, unfortunately. And so it came down to every scene where someone got knocked on their ass, we cleared an entire bottle of Morgan Private Stock and half of a bottle of Morgan Lime Bite.
So you had a lot of Captain in you.
I had a ton of Captain in me, yes.
Yeah, goodness.
It's like when you go down to Lapeer, Kaiser.
Someone
gay
find
jokes are
interesting
easy.
what I've been up to. Someone ask me what I've been up to.
So,
Taco, what
I
have you
believe
been
that's
up
the end
to?
of the podcast.
And finally,
I asked him.
Damn it, Lanny, why do you do this to me?
Finally playing Skyrim.
You're finally playing Skyrim? You've never played Skyrim before.
I bought it and played it for like 20 hours and put it down. Mostly because I was juggling between two characters and I kept doing the same quest twice. I was like, no. So now I'm going back and I'm playing my Dark Elf Assassin instead. I'm having lots of fun now.
Have you downloaded Dawn Guard?
I'm going to wait till I beat majority of the game before I download that one, unless I should download it beforehand.
It's pretty fast and easy. I mean, it can be done at any time, although I will say a lot of the dragon shouts kind of help, especially if you want to fight, high-powered vampire people.
Vampires!
Dawn Guard was pretty fun. I got it, basically right when I got back, and I played through it a little.
You know what? Everyone says that Dawn Guard is when DLC is done right. You look at a game like Skyrim, and they give you 3 games worth of content.
Oh my god, yeah.
They give you so much content. And you know what? I'll say this, I don't care if I get flack for it. Any other company besides Bethesda doing it, they would have charged DLC for most of that content.
I don't know. The only other game I can really think comparable in terms of content might be Just Cause 2.
Oh my god.
There's a lot in that game. That game is amazing, without a shadow of a doubt. But there's few companies that'll actually give you a complete experience nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bethesda is one of those companies, and they will forever have my respect as a company as long as they do that. And Dawn Guard, because this analogy was given to me about DLC, and I will stick with it. DLC, how a lot of companies, such as EA, will give you a pizza pan with parts of the pizza missing, a couple slices missing, and they'll charge you extra for each of the slices so you can have a complete game. Bethesda will give you the whole pizza with extra toppings. They'll ask you, would you like another pizza afterwards?
Or better yet, would you like a bottle of soda to go with that? Would you like some breadsticks?
And that is the difference between the two companies. And guess what? Bethesda outsells any of those other companies.
Yeah.
Copies of that game. That just proves if you make a fun experience, people will buy it. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
That's what I've been up to.
I mean, in my honest opinions on Dawn Guard, I haven't gone through the actual hero side of it yet because you know what, I'm an evil asshole and I wanted to see I have an evil character that I've leveled up first, so I wanted to see where that evil side took me. But as far as Bethesda DLC goes, I think it's probably just below Shivering Isles. Shivering Isles was amazing.
Oh, the Shivering Isles, was that Morrowind DLC?
No, that was Oblivion DLC.
See, the Oblivion expansions were brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that. What is it? Bethesda just knows how to make even the Fallout 3 expansions and extra content were fucking brilliant.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not so much they just know how to expand a world. They know how to build a world really good. That's what makes them great games because you actually believe the world.
There's so much, and it's
seriously, you go through it, you open the books. They have I don't know how many pages of stuff that probably nobody reads, but it's
I know
that world.
Apparently, I don't know. I'm probably wrong, but Morrowind itself had 10 novels worth of pages you could read.
I always found that interesting because I never read any of that crap.
I get bored sometimes, and I've read a couple things. And it's wow, they put a lot of effort into this stuff. This is actually kind of amazing. They must have an entire division of authors hired on there just to write some of these things.
I'm sure a lot of it is interns who want to get into the writing staff.
That's probably it too. I bet because there are some joke books out there, some of the cookbooks and things like that.
Oh yeah, that stuff's fun.
Yeah. But it's just so amazing how they have so many of these things. And I'm pretty sure Dawn Guard actually added a few books.
By the way, anyone see any movies lately?
I saw Amazing Spider-Man last night, actually.
I saw that on midnight premiere.
You know, I can't think of a single spoiler in that movie. Like, you go through it, you sit down, it's like, yep, nothing surprised me there.
There are some scenes you don't want to...
Well, yeah, there's. I can think of one thing on my mind. One possible thing that I can construe as a spoiler that you don't want to hear.
Yeah.
But...
Is Spider-Man in it?
No, actually...
Way to spoil it, Taka!
It's actually all about Daredevil.
Yeah,
With,
it was fun. I mean, here's what I really felt about Spider-Man. I felt that it had too much going on.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't have a concise story. They had way too many side things going on, and they just tried to mush it together into a story. Granted, they had a central narrative, but it felt like it drifted from side to side a lot. Like,
well, it obviously wanted to get that friggin' backstory out of the way, but at the same time, they're like, okay, we can't just have, it wanted to build the relationships. And that's awesome. I really do like the relationship built up with Martin Sheen and Sally Fields.
Fields, yeah.
They were actually two of the best characters in that movie. Like, bar none, they're the ones, it was an amazing supporting cast. Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy. I loved her.
That's my Hollywood crush right there.
Yeah, for a lot of people, it's Emma Stone. And for a good reason. She's very good at what she does. And in those golden locks and that mini skirt and those boots, gorgeous. And Andrew Garfield, I liked Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I did.
Yeah, he was good. He was definitely a really good young Peter Parker.
He was a little bit more angsty than the actual Peter Parker is.
But it was kind of an angsty story.
Well, the one thing that I didn't like is that they focus so much on Peter's freaking parents. I mean, why would okay, I can understand that they're trying to differentiate this, but why? Peter's parents have never been interesting. They died in a plane crash. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be interested to see where the movie series goes. Now that they have all the relationships and stuff developed, I hope that they can, stay on a track.
Would be nice. That would be nice.
Although I will say one thing that they never really go into or explain at all, like, they show him kind of making the costume, but it's like, where did you get this material and how did you work with it? Like, it's like,
to be fair, they also go into him making they never explain him making the web shooters.
They kind of show him doing it, but it's never like, I don't want to, it's not that much of a spoiler, but
they do work it in. They do work it in with Oscorp. They work it in with Oscorp.
Yeah. Basically the web, the actual web things are an Oscorp technology. How come nobody? Because he spends a lot of time around Oscorp, like he swings webs through there. It's like, how come nobody from that company has looked at that and said, "Hey, that's our stuff"?
Yeah, I mean, you do got to think. It just raises too many questions.
It's actually advertised technology. There's like a commercial for it playing in the there's a commercial for it online, I think, while Peter's looking at it.
Yeah.
You can find this stuff online. Why doesn't anybody look at that and go, that's Oscorp stuff. We should start investigating Oscorp about this guy.
Yeah. But, there are some things. There's that and the fact that everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
It's like Kurt Connors knew Peter Parker's father, and Gwen Stacy is working at Oscorp under
Gwen Stacy is everywhere. She knows everyone.
I know, right?
Is the epitome of 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
It was a little bit too convenient. But besides those, good movie. Great dialogue, great character interactions.
It was a fun popcorn flick, but let's be honest, we're waiting for Batman.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's placating us for Batman. Another movie I saw recently was Brave.
I liked it. You know what? I liked it more than Spider-Man. I'll say that.
I liked it less than Spider-Man, but for a reason.
I never saw it, so I didn't like it.
I understand your reason. I can see that it wanted to do so much more. Like, it wanted to tell a way bigger story. It wanted to develop so much more. But it only had an hour and a half to do it, and you know what? It needed to be a much longer movie.
Yeah, it did. It also needed to cut some characters. There were a couple characters in there that did not need to be there.
It's very true. Some characters could have been combined into
The witch. The witch was unnecessary.
Here's the thing. If it were a longer movie and you actually developed that character of the witch, if you introduce her at any point, like when she's a little girl, if you introduce her somewhere around there to be like this, she's not evil.
She's more mischievous. If anything, she's just a witch who wants to be kept to herself.
She's just bumbling, I guess I kind of want to say, but
honestly, that entire thing, and not to mention the three brothers. Three brothers could have been funny, but honestly, I think they needed to cut the three brothers and then focus more on the princes.
Yeah, the princes could have been a lot of fun. The princes were a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah,
I wish they did focus on them a little more.
Yeah, you did want them to, like, they could have been actual characters who had interacted. You could have found out more about them and maybe thought, oh, maybe one of these is actually a decent dude. Maybe one of these she could like. But no, as they are, they're just kind of there, and like they have a couple lines of dialogue that kind of makes you endear to them, but beyond that, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that's actually one of the things that actually kind of upsetted me about the movie is that I can't really place the witch, and maybe I'm not supposed to. Maybe I'm not supposed to know what her character's all about. But
she's just a plot device.
She's a plot. Yeah, that was the problem, is that she was a plot device. You can't understand her motive. Did she mean to, do what she did? Did she accidentally do it? Is it just something she does?
And we find out later it's not the first time. So that raises even more questions.
But it's just I don't know. Like I said, I think I liked the attitude. I liked the movie. It was gorgeous. It was beautiful.
It's pretty. It's one of Pixar's prettiest films to date.
But it needed to be longer.
It needed to be longer, and it needed to cut characters. It also needed to explain more. But and then the final movie we'll talk about.
Change your fate.
Change your feet.
Change your feet? Why would I want to change my feet, narrator?
Yeah. I like that actress, though. But yeah, the accent got a little, heavy at times. But the last movie we'll talk about is Ted.
I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen Ted yet?
I haven't seen Ted yet. It just came out, man. I've been out of town.
I guess you've been out of town. That's an excuse. I won't say too much then, other than it's funny. It is a funny little movie. It is Seth MacFarlane doing what Seth MacFarlane really likes to do, and not a lot of the cheap crap that his writers put out on TV because he is so sick of Family Guy at this point. It's good. And if you are a big geek, you will love this movie because there's if you were a fan of 80s sci-fi, there's something in this movie that is going to blow your mind.
In comparison to Paul, because Paul was like the epitome of that. Paul had so many references and things like that. I liked Paul, actually.
Oh no, I love Paul. Oh no,
now I want to see Paul again. Damn it!
But yeah, for Ted, Mark Wahlberg.
I love Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah,
Wahlberg's awesome.
Wahlberg killed in Ted, apparently. That's what all the reviews say.
Yeah, and Mila Kunis. Okay, so I'm not gonna talk Mila Kunis here, but I've never been a huge fan of hers. Mostly because she just kind of seems to.
It's because you're gay. You don't get it.
But I will say in this movie, she really, really does her best. And she's given a great character to work with, too. One that is not not one of the funnier characters, one of the ones that's actually the most endearing, and the ones that is sold the best. She actually comes across as genuine, and I like that.
I'll probably give the movie a watch, later on this week at some point.
Yeah.
I'll try to get back to doing movie reviews, too, once I get my computer back into exporting mode. I need to download some codecs and stuff since I just got it back from the shop.
Yeah. And of course, the main character, Ted, he's hilarious. It's Seth MacFarlane being Seth MacFarlane, but in the good way. In the way that, I know we've been here before, but he does it well.
Seth MacFarlane's a teddy bear?
Yes.
Okay.
Haven't you ever seen him in person? I mean, he's kind of put on some chub.
Okay. I guess that makes sense. So does that wrap up everything that we're talking about here?
Yeah, I think that are we gonna go out on Seth MacFarlane? We're going out on Seth MacFarlane.
We're going out on Seth MacFarlane, Kaiser. I think we gotta understand. I think we have to
make peace with that.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I guess if that's everything, I guess that's it for episode 2 of the TeamFourStar podcast.
See.
Bye.